And we're live. Welcome back to the Primal Texan experiment, gentlemen. We have here with us Anthony Thomas and Trevor.
What's up?
Both are music producers, both meeting for the first time. So
I think it'd be more fair to say that I'm a video producer.
Okay, video.
I do produce some music, but it's more fair video.
All right. Yeah. What about, you were just talking about your projects that you got done. You want to go into depth, or can you go into depth about that?
Dude, I'm so tired. Actually, so there's one really cool project. I think we talked about it last time briefly, but we're finally going to release it. We shot this video performance of Laura Marie at this castle up at Wonder Audio, one of the more prestigious like audio manufacturers that has worked with Paul McCartney, Green Day, Norah Jones, just a lot of different people. And we shot it. It's coming out the first Friday of next month. And it's just an amazing, beautiful performance. Laura Marie, she's an amazing vocalist. And it's kind of like, it's more of a country twang, but not too country for my taste, because I'm not a big country person myself. But inadvertently, like the majority of people I've worked with, Vanessa Lindbergh, Rich O'Toole, and Laura Marie are more in the country directions. But man, it's a cool performance. It was an amazing opportunity just to be there, because you're inside of this castle and with probably more expensive audio gear than I've ever been around in my entire life.
That's up there in Austin, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's up in some hills, barely any service whatsoever. Very secretive. It's like gated away from like everyone else.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So what kind of videos do you produce?
We make anywhere from professionally to amateur kind of stuff, where it's like music videos, doctor profile interviews, commercials, things kind of like that nature. But
so you do like videography?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Okay,
so
cool.
I do videography, and then technically we're not a company. We're a group of like-minded individuals. Right. But with Blue Fox, we have a range of different videographers. For the most part, I do all the editing. We do some of the direction, but we're stock full of videographers with different lenses, different types of bodies: Canon, Nikon, Sony. I personally am pretty married to the Panasonic realm of Lumix. But yeah, that's nice. Typically what we do.
Do you guys do like I'm sure you do, but I'm just asking for out of my curiosity, like documentaries, and can you do festivals and kind of like music kind of stuff, like concerts?
So Kevin, who is essentially aspiring to work for Vice and do documentaries like that, he's more well versed within us. So essentially, everyone that we have on our little team, whatever you need,
you can do it.
We can do it. Whether it's me, it's Kevin, Miguel, Josh, Wayne, anyone, they all have their special expertise, who mainly works in rap, or mainly does metal music, or documentaries, or live sessions like I do, or live performance, commercials, product commercial stuff, anything like that.
Well, man, I'm gonna have to I'll get at you later on, because
sure.
I have an event, and I'm looking for somebody to do the.
You talking about this Sunday?
Yeah, I am.
Did you want to go more in depth about that?
Yeah, if you can, go for it, dude. I'm now curious.
Okay, well, once a month, usually on a Sunday, and it's usually towards the end of the month.
Anthony, speaking of the mic.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You can move the mic closer to you. If
my bad.
He chilling.
I am. For real. Okay, so once a month, usually on a Sunday, towards the end of the month, either the last Sunday of the month or the one right before it, I host a jazz, blues, and barbecue event. So so anyway, it's an event. We have different performers come up. We have a rhythm section. All the musicians change every month, so I try to just get different musicians in there, different bass players, different drummers. We have guest vocalists come out. We have guitar players. We have blues players, funk players. Everybody, it's a variety. Anyway, but I'm actually looking for somebody to document that event so that I can use it. So anyway.
So I personally already know that I can't be there. It's the last Sunday of the month, or is it this one coming up?
This one is on the 22nd. So
this Sunday coming
going
up.
Down this Sunday. Mm-hmm.
What time?
It is from 7 to 10:30.
I'm sure I could get someone on it. I'll be actually coming back from a music shoot in College Station. But originally it was supposed to be College Station and then Dallas, but now Dallas is canceled. But so I'll be back on the 22nd, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If I can't do it,
well,
I'm sure I have plenty of people that can. Even if we can't do it, I can still push you to.
No. But the whole point is building. I'm building with you.
Sure.
I'm catching your vibe, so I would like to extend that invitation to you and hire you to do it. So if not this one,
that's dope.
We have one next month.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean. So then I can hire you for that one.
Sounds good to me.
Oh, talking business on the podcast.
I'm trying to get Greg out there to do the podcast out there. During the break or intermission one day. Yeah, it's a really fun time, man. Like,
well, for sure. I'm like, I thought we were discussing and talking about doing the podcast possibly live there. I'm totally down for that. It's just right now, just given my technical issues that I'm having, it's just put that off. But I'm definitely going to attend this Sunday because I've always wanted to go to one of your events, and I was just like, I never made time for it, but I made time, making time for it this Sunday.
So the cool thing about this event is it's your quintessential down south, down home, like in the back of a dive bar in the hood on the south side.
Are you gonna have any ruleta?
Huh?
You're gonna have any ruleta? I went to one of those festivals, man. They got a shit amount of corn everywhere. It was amazing. Best corn festival I've ever been to. It was in Harlingen. It was damn awesome.
So we won't have any corn, but we will have some true Texas style smoked barbecue. They get cooked for over 24 hours from wood to coal. I mean, it's a labor of love, and it takes a long time. But anyway, you get everything from brisket, pulled pork, ribs, sausage. Sometimes we have chicken.
So how does someone find out about this, though?
Word of mouth.
Really?
You got to be in the know.
Shit.
Yeah, you got to be in the know. It's promoted. So this is the 4th installment.
Cool.
This is the 4th time I've done it. I haven't gone too big on the promotion just because I want to keep it really organic and I want it to grow organically too. That's just the type of guy I am.
No, honestly, like one of the best things is to not create like exclusivity, but the people that want to back you and the people that are excited about you are also excited about it because they've never heard of it.
So what, you don't want follow for follow, bro?
I like follow for follow. But if you look at our So Far Facebook, granted, our So Far Sounds San Antonio Facebook, granted, we don't really do much promotion on there whatsoever, but we sell out every show.
Yeah.
And everyone's always like, "Oh, how do you like know about this?" I'm like, "Well, you can sign up to our newsletter. You can on Instagram. We do some promotion, but that's primarily because we need to rake in a couple extra people. But for the most part, it's all done by either word of mouth. Someone's like, "Oh, my brother's coming in from this. I have to show him this. We're all around the world, so he can go back and go do it as well." But it's all invite only. We don't really. By the way, So Far Sounds, we do secret shows. So they don't know who's playing. They don't know where the venue is. Typically, the address will be put out to anyone who's being invited the day before.
Cool.
But it's all invite only. You have to apply for the ticket, and then we release all the tickets, and then everyone just kind of grabs it if they can and whatnot. But we typically sell out really quick. That's
awesome. If and when you can get to that stage where you're creating that for your brand or your business or whatever you have, that's pretty awesome. Here, it's not exclusive, but you do have to hear about it, and I guess the main source of promotion would just be on Facebook, so it spreads there and throughout the musicians, because every month I have different musicians come, and it's so the first half is like it's like a formal concert. It's like we put on a little show. I'll bring up one of the guest artists or performers that are coming in, whether they be a vocalist or a guitarist. I have them come up, they do their thing. Then we take a break. The second set, usually we invite whoever showed up. So the musicians that show up, sometimes we have trumpet players, other saxophone players, drummers, bass players, whoever's there, vocalists. One by one, I'll bring them up, and then they come in, they play, they sit in with the band, and it's just a good time. Cool. It's a good time. Again, with good food, barbecue.
What is this called again?
It's called the Blues Pit Sunday Hang.
The Blues Pit Sunday Hang.
So my catering company is called the Blues Pit Barbecue.
Do you have a Facebook and Instagram?
I do.
Shit.
Right. So for the, let me see here. On Facebook, it's going to be ATM Jazz. That's the page. That's my personal page for all the events that I put on, and wherever else I'm performing to in town. And then on Instagram, it's gonna be Blues Pit Barbecue.
Blues Pit Barbecue.
Some delicious barbecue, let me tell you. That was some delicious barbecue, man.
That's right. You got some that went to which I appreciate. Thank you.
It was delicious, man. I got lazy, man. I didn't want to cook my own brisket. That takes some loving that I just don't have time to do right now.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a labor of love for sure. But anyway,
this one.
Yeah, that's it.
Badass.
But that's pretty much so anyway, yeah, you have the Blues Pit. It's called the Blues Pit Sunday Hang, and that's once a month, and that's what we do there.
Nice.
So I cater the event and I play, so it's a long weekend for me.
And you play what instrument? Because I know you're totally into jazz, but what do you play?
I play the saxophone, so that's my main instrument. All of them, predominantly though, I play the alto, but I do play tenor, soprano. And then I also play keys when I produce, bass, drums, all that. I compose, I write, I can arrange. So I went to school for music. I've been studying music for about, 16 years of my life.
Nice.
Been performing and playing for the last decade.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've only written a indoor drumline ensemble. As far as anything else goes, not really. I play keyboard, but
were you in drumline?
All the way up from 10th and 11th grade, and then I totally screwed up my ankle, and ever since then I haven't been, and that's kind of why I started it. But in our AP music theory class, we had to write a 30-second, at least a 3-part thing. I was like, no. I'm gonna have mallets, and I'm gonna have drums, and I'm gonna have everything. I did all that kind of stuff.
It's all good. No worries.
But yeah, and I play guitar, drums. My passion is drums. My current band I play guitar with. I play some keyboards. I know my theory when it comes to piano and just in general music theory, but I don't know shit on guitar. I can't.
Then why are you playing guitar for this current band then?
I don't know.
Just something,
I can play guitar.
To do different.
I can play guitar. There is no doubt about that. I can't tell you, this is an A flat minor chord, and I'm gonna go into a C diminished 7 bullshit or whatever.
So wait, you quit drumline because I
messed up my ankle.
You messed up your ankle.
Yeah, I pulled my Achilles tendon.
Oh,
and then they injected me with a steroid shot, which you're not supposed to hit it directly. You're supposed to inject it around it, but she stabbed it and then injected around it. So she told me after my physical therapy, she's just this is just something you're gonna have to live with, yada yada yada. I think the reason why we can't do anything about it is that we signed a waiver, probably. Yeah, but I ask my parents every year because it's really weird. I can go work out, right? No issues. A week or so later, I'll just be walking up the steps or some stairs, and then my ankle goes out, and I can't walk for 15, 20 minutes.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
And then it's gone. It's just a stinging pain that can't hold any weight onto it. And then it's gone. It just comes and goes. It's really weird. Yeah.
I thought it was something not as bad as my broken toe I currently have right now. Walking around with this boot, it's been annoying.
Oh man,
so how did that happen?
Last night playing soccer. To be honest, I don't even know. I went colliding with 2 of the other players fighting for the ball, and I think they kicked the ball before I got to it. So when I extended my foot out to get to the ball, all that force just went into my toe and just twisted it and inwards towards the other toes.
Man.
But
I didn't feel any pain. I just felt oh, that just went numb.
I broke my toe with skateboarding. I was just I'm not gonna skate with a shoe. And I broke my toe. And yeah, I didn't feel anything either.
Well, it was dislocated and broken. So when I got to the doctor, they were like, "Oh, it looks dislocated. Let's get some x-rays." Well, they already knew it was dislocated, so they went ahead and just popped it back out. It wasn't painful. It was just feeling the bones rub on one another. That was just the strange part. It wasn't really painful. It was just weird.
It's making me feel weird right now.
and then the pop, you just hear pop. That was a yeah, like that.
Damn.
Pretty much just like that. You just, but it was like split second. It just made it like it seemed worse because the doctor here was all like had to get a nurse, 2 nurses to help hold my legs down because she was all like she was afraid I might kick her or something.
Oh shit, yeah.
But I didn't. I just jerked a little bit, but I kept everything calm and steady.
Have you seen that video? I can't find it on YouTube, and every time I talk to someone about it, they haven't seen it, and I just try to find it. I can't find it on Facebook or YouTube, but I saw it on Facebook. And this kid, he just tries like a kickflip, falls, right, catches himself, his arm snaps backwards, like entirely 100% backwards, and some Jesus motherfucker who like is skating around goes, stop, and pops it right back in and snaps it right back to normal. Yeah. It was. It looks really disgusting.
I've seen some nasty stuff on YouTube, but I don't care to watch it again. It's nuts.
I spend too much time on YouTube watching random shit.
What you been watching lately?
Oh, so my dad. Late at night, man. I caught him watching. He watches the most random shit, and he got me into watching this random stuff. You know, so. I catch him one time. It's like 1:30 in the morning. I'm like, Dad, what are you doing? And he's watching flash floods in the wilderness.
What?
Yeah, no, it's amazing. It's amazing to watch. So he's watching these videos, and you'll see these mountains and like a valley and like brush and all this. And then seconds, you'll see a moving pile of debris, twigs, logs, big things, and it's coming. And once where there was a meadow of flowers, seconds later is this roaring, raging river of bark, because you don't see water, you just see all the trees and stuff from top for like the first 5 minutes. Then you see mud and everything coming, and it's just like cool. So I've been watching a lot of that. I've been watching a lot of that lately. The whole time, just sitting there getting stoned, just watching that shit. You know, like man, this is. Do
you know
cool.
what's my guilty pleasure though? I love watching. I can like, if I'm just editing any videos, and it finds me great pleasure. I guess it should find everyone some pretty great pleasure. But watching those Chris Hansen videos with like those dumbass like pedophiles that just look so dumbfounded by, oh no, I wasn't trying to do that, but I know you have my text, and it's like, why are you doing this? I don't know, I just love seeing those videos.
Yeah.
To Catch a Predator videos or whatever.
I've been wasting.
Nothing makes me happier.
I've been wasting too much time on the whole Kawhi situation. Just reading too many articles.
Dude,
about
don't read. It's so bad. Don't read.
No, is he staying or is he going?
That's my point.
I don't know. I mean, no. I don't care whether he stays or goes. I'm just all like, what? Why are they blowing this up?
At some point, I saw something say, "Oh, he's open for a $230 million."
Max deal. We should take it. And I'm just like, fuck no. If we're gonna have someone who be that much of a baby, now I do just recently have been seeing him as a bit of a baby, to not be expressing to us what's going on, because we're gonna lose Ginobili. He's too old. We're gonna lose him in general. Now he's been saving our ass a couple times, but then we have Tony Parker who jumped ship.
He's with the
exactly
Hornets now, right?
Exactly. He's with the Hornets.
I'm kind of happy, to be honest.
I hear he's an asshole. I do. I partied very briefly with Patty Mills, so I know that he's not an asshole. But I also hear that, because I don't watch it too often, but when I watch it, I mean, Patty Mills seems to be doing pretty damn good. But then at times I hear other people, I mean, he's not that consistent. He's not this or that.
Is he still with the Spurs?
Yeah, oh yeah.
He got bumped to a first string once Kawhi got put out. Yeah, but he was a second stringer.
But Dejounte Murray's been playing the point guard position for the Spurs, and man, he's my favorite Spur. Like ever since I saw him first put on that Spurs uniform on that court, you just see it, like his skill set, his potential, and now you just see him like working at these expedition games, exhibition games. Well,
Exhibition.
Yeah, I know I'm tongue tied there, but yeah, and like you just see him doing these amazing crossovers, dunks, like pretty much underhand.
How do you feel about Aldridge?
Aldridge,
is he still there too?
Yeah, he's
I'm
still there.
Lost, bro.
You're busy in the jazz, man.
Yeah,
performing your music, getting the jazz barbecue.
If I'm honest with you, the only reason why I know so much, and the only reason why I can actually talk about it, is because my girlfriend's like super into the Spurs. And so before, I watched it because my entire family.
She must not be.
Technically, she's not. Technically, she's from Kentucky.
Oh,
but that was like kindergarten or something.
She caught
like
the
that.
bug, bro. When she come down to San Antonio,
Yeah.
Spurs. That's it. Die hard all the way.
Yeah,
yeah.
they love the Spurs.
You can't but fall in love with the Spurs if you live in San Antonio. And then even if you move away from San Antonio, I feel like you always have the Spurs as your favorite team.
Man, it's super lit when they win the anytime they've ever won the championship downtown.
Oh yeah, that Riverwalk.
Everywhere. It's just a party all down the whole entire downtown. Everywhere
the whole
go.
district downtown. Yeah, I know what you mean. All the streets are crowded. Everyone's just going so slow. Yeah,
so
it's
like,
awesome.
But do you know what I really enjoy about that though? Is not destroying the city.
Yeah,
because you won. Because I'm not gonna lie, that shit really pisses me off. Like when
Philadelphia.
Yeah, when they won, they destroyed their entire city. Essentially, people's like businesses were destroyed. There was a lot of shit that happened, and I get it.
That's the attitude up there.
I get it, but that's why I don't like them. Not because the players.
You see everybody here. You see everybody come out, and I mean everybody, all types of people. You see them all out there, and I'm pretty sure there's some shit that goes down, but for the most part, I think everybody's just pretty peaceful and happy that
it's very respectful.
It brings the city together, brings everybody together. People that wouldn't be hanging out with each other, just yeah, it was funny. Good times.
Interesting fact. I said this on the last podcast, but did y'all know how big Bear County was before 1850?
No.
All right, so it went up all the way up to Wyoming. That's how big Bear County. It covered all of West Texas, the Panhandle, going up north. You know how like the Texas Republic had like a little strip going up north.
Oh, okay.
That was pretty much Bear County too, going all the way up to Wyoming.
Wow,
it's fucking nuts.
How did all that change over time?
What year was this?
1850.
Yeah. I believe it.
It just changes over time because people just want to be able to regulate themselves better, like just local government.
California.
Yeah.
Coming up, I think they just took a vote to
split it into 3 states, right?
North California, South California, and California, essentially. But the reason why it's not going to go through, no matter what you say, is you're essentially having the people vote. The people who are actually voting on this to happen, which I think the Senate. Essentially, you're telling them that they're all going to lose their jobs if they vote yes. So once that happens, they all lose their jobs, and then they must campaign for their jobs back once they make the annex and all that kind of stuff. So that's why it'll never be a yes. Because who's going to be like, okay, I'm going to lose my job right now.
Are you saying we have a corrupt system? Sounds like you are.
No.
Sounds like you're very close to walking on that line, saying that our political system is very corrupt, sir.
Who would say that? It's the greatest country.
It is one of the great countries on this planet, not just the greatest.
I don't want to live in America.
I don't.
I really don't.
How can you say that, Trevor?
Yeah. Where would you like to go?
I'm trolling right now, guys. Don't mind me.
No, I'm serious though. But where would you like to go?
I feel like we are all trolling. I don't know. I mean, I'd like to try London and those kind of areas. I work with a lot of people. So far as a global thing, it started in like London. So I got to meet a lot of those people and how they interact and seeing what their world is through their eyes in certain respects. And so I've always thought about that direction of just like maybe living there for like a year to understand the culture and like to get it and just see what it is like over there. I don't know. Canada looks pretty good.
Go to Australia, man. Try Australia.
It's too hot.
What? Yeah, it's beautiful over there.
It's really hot.
It's only hot in the outback.
The skin does not go into the right direction.
I told you, you gotta bake.
When I bake, I just get red. I red and I peel.
I told you, you gotta spend 5 minutes baking and then like 20 minutes in the shade.
You know, it can't be hotter than Texas, bro.
Oh, no, it is.
Or is it Australia?
Yeah, in the Outback, I think on the day I was out in the Outback, it was like 115 at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. That was an ignorant statement. But Texas is still fucking hot. Yes, the humidity is hot.
I say that because I want to bring this up because I made this decision. I was always floating around in my head before, but now this summer it solidified it. I'm getting a house somewhere else for the summer, bro. I love Texas. I love Texas, man. Like, if you ask me, because I've lived in other places throughout the past 10 years, right? And I've always missed Texas. I get homesick and I always want to come back. If you ask me what I miss about it,
food.
It's the wide open spaces, man. The oak trees. You know, just a never-ending just sight when you're just driving up Central Texas or West Texas is kind of boring, but you know, I love the trees, man. I love the fields.
Georgia's pretty great with trees.
Georgia?
Georgia.
Oh, Georgia's beautiful. Yeah, I've been there too.
I love those trees.
Yeah, it's different kinds of trees. They're taller.
Tall as hell.
Tall as hell.
Have you been to Georgia?
Intimidating.
No.
Super intimidating.
Pretty racist, but pretty great.
It's like when you're I was in Georgia and I was standing outside and the trees are so tall. You know, here we got oak trees that are fat and the arms come and they linger. They're real beautiful, right, in their own way.
They're just a reverse root, essentially.
Right, yeah. A reverse root, yeah. In Georgia, you got these big ass pine, just Christmas trees going. They're so tall, man. Like
50 to 100 feet.
Yeah, I'm standing there. I'm like, man, you know, if a storm came right now and we got some wind or lightning hit this bitch, it would be scary for real. Because like the houses are small and you just look up and this is huge, gigantic, just beautiful trees. Anyway, how do we get on? Oh, Texas, it's too hot. Okay? And I'm gonna have another place where I'm just gonna be like
in the state or somewhere else in the world. I know it gets a little difficult trying to get a place outside the United States just because you gotta have permanent residency and all that. Maybe you get a timeshare somewhere. But
you have to have a permanent residency in order to get a place, really?
Some countries, not all. You just gotta check their policies.
Oh man, that's not because I had big plans for Switzerland.
I don't know. Check, man. Check. All you gotta do is just check.
Well, anyway, you know,
Switzerland, really? You go from hot to extreme cold?
Well, no. See, you gotta go when it's just right over there. You know what I mean? And then come back over here when it's just right. Like September.
I don't know, man.
October. You know, late September, October, November is pretty nice here. You know what I mean? Late February, March, early April is beautiful here.
Have you been watching or reading the news lately?
About what?
How everywhere along the equator is pretty much just getting high temperatures, high records.
Fake news.
Fake news, yeah, fake news.
Well, but you're talking about the equator, bro. Switzerland's way from the equator.
Prague experienced what, a record high for the last
that's even better. If it's extremely cold out there, then it's not going to be that cold anymore. I don't know.
It's gonna be. It's like night. It's as hot here as it is over there now.
No, it's not.
I swear.
And not in Switzerland. There's no way it's 100 degrees in Switzerland, bro.
Where's my phone?
And if it is, it's a different type of 100 degrees. It's a different type of heat, man.
Okay, I'll give you that. It's a different type of heat, yeah.
Like California, even though it's really, really fucking hot, so far flew me out to California like last year. And although it was hot, man, the breezes.
Bro, California is just gorgeous right now.
So nice.
Yeah, that wind just comes off the Pacific. It's just amazing.
To Big Bear?
No.
California? So Big Bear is like a huge ass campsite.
NorCal
what city is it by?
It's like an hour off of LA going up. But essentially it's just up into like the mountains, just nothing but like the most scenic things you've ever seen. And when we were staying there, they're telling us about like lions and bears and what to do with all those kinds of things. And it's amazing. It's on your edge seat being scared.
What was the advice they gave you?
Oh, to like roar. Essentially that's it. I feel like I'm gonna die if I try that.
No.
I get the idea.
What you need to do
Make
is
yourself bigger,
bend over and kiss your ass goodbye, because that's what a mountain lion's gonna do to you.
Did y'all see that movie? What was it, The Revenant or something like that?
Yeah.
With Leo.
I love it, but I also fell asleep on one part.
Bro, he cut open, what was it, a moose?
His horse.
Or his horse?
Yeah.
And he slept in it.
Yeah.
To keep warm.
Yeah.
He Star Wars did.
Damn.
You'd be surprised how much better other animals' skin is compared to our very own skin. Our skin isn't very good at holding in.
Well, not only
heat.
that, I mean, he just killed the horse, so his body temperature was still warm inside, and all the anyway, that movie made me really, really scared of bears, man. That was fucked.
Yeah.
Bro. Yeah, but I've never, man, like. He got fucked up in that movie.
Yeah, he did.
Excuse my French, everyone.
No. Spoiler alert. A little late spoiler in case you haven't seen the movie.
Oh, sorry, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, if you haven't seen it, it's your fault,
too
man.
late. It's too
come
late
on.
by now.
It's like 4 years old.
It's been on
5 years old.
HBO, Netflix.
Yeah. I saw that when I was in New Orleans, right? And New Orleans is pretty great.
Yes,
but
I love New Orleans.
after I left New Orleans, because I was 22, that's when my drinking just dropped hard. I do not drink nearly as much as I used to.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, it's very good, man.
It's a very good thing.
You hit your alcoholic phase early.
I did.
Hopefully you won't have a midlife crisis now.
My girlfriend and I, we're about 25, and man, we're just super old. We hardly ever go out anymore. Whenever we try to go out, we just try to make sure that's like someone that we want to see, because I advocate hard for like local music and everything like that. I really do. But I try to give back in the courtesy of the work that I do, because I don't go out much often. I can't do it. Last time I did, I got pretty drunk and I wanted to support this local artist, right? I don't remember his name, but I have his hot sauce, because apparently he makes his own hot sauces.
Nice.
Yeah, it's this he does this sort of punk Tejano type music. I don't know how to explain it.
Oh, is it God damn it. Is it Piñata Protest?
No, I don't think so.
Piñata Protest.
The brand of his hot sauce is the brand of who he is as an artist. Like whatever that is that is.
Well, no, just because you said punk and Tejano, so they do that. They merge that, but I don't know if you.
I wonder if I can go in my photos and type in hot sauce.
I'm liking that though, man. I'm liking the diversity and the musicians out here getting it. You know, diversifying themselves. Getting it any way they can. You have to.
I mean, this boy over here is breaking his heart and soul for So Far Sounds, man. Is it So Far Sounds?
Yeah.
Okay.
We always find it really funny because So Far Sounds stands for Songs from a Room. And so whenever we have our MC go up, they're nervous and we keep explaining to them, songs from a room. And then I don't think we've had one MC yet
do it right.
Dang. And they always
songs in the room from the room.
They always or the biggest one is always sounds from a room, not songs from a room, because So Far Sounds, so they get the sound stuck in their head. Because it's songs from a room, but then they'll say sounds from a room or
so the company's
else.
name is So Far Sounds.
Yes.
But you want people to say
songs from a room, because that's the So Far breakdown. So Far is songs from a room. SO song, F from a room.
Oh, the acronym.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So Far
dope.
Sounds. Yeah.
Okay, So Far Sounds, songs from a room.
Actually,
there you go. Hire me for your
top
MC.
of that, if you want to do an MC, we're down with that. Late August, I'll hit you up. Wait. Okay. August. Yeah. Definitely do it for that. We're always looking for people to do that, because it takes so much energy out of us to even put the show together.
Right.
And then we're running the show, and then it's just so difficult. I'll have to put down a camera and go.
Who's us?
My girlfriend and I.
Because
we run it together.
Yeah, this last time he was just all like, I run everything. Like the other cities, they have like a team of 10. And it's just pretty much me.
Miami has like a team of 18. Now, for the most part, we all volunteer. We pay for the videographers, we pay for the sound guy, everything like that. I pay myself only to video edit, not to put the shows together. And I'm just like, I don't know how he can run his team, but there's some people that love So Far so much, and I do get it. I understand it. Once you go to your first So Far show, you understand what the experience truly is. So then you have people who just want to do it because they love music in general. But we've had other team members that will come and go. Yeah. You know, but it becomes they have something else that they need to do, which I get it. We're not paying you to be here. You're a volunteer. I'm a volunteer. I get it. Go do your thing. But then they have like a team of like 18 where they're all volunteers, and the guy who runs it will like pull out the whip and be like, well, they need to be here on time or else they can't do it. I'm just like,
you can't expect that.
I can't expect that, especially over here. That might be a paid city, but yeah, I don't think it is. I don't understand how you can expect that from volunteers or anything like that. Like, I get it. I get that you can't do it anymore. I get that you can't do this. I get that. There's certain little things that frustrate me all like about it, but you know, it is what it is. I was gonna say something about something. What were you just talking about?
Oh, he was talking about coming on your show for MC, and then
the So Far Sound song from a room.
Yeah.
But then before that, we were talking about California,
how gorgeous it is, and I can't
what
wait.
led to that was because we were talking about how hot it was, and trying to find a second place to live. If you want open spaces, becoming an advocate for it, but Australia.
I have a friend. I have a musician friend, a good friend of mine, trumpet player, a very sophisticated trumpet player. He's in Australia right now, going to dental school.
And to give a shout out to another friend I have over there right now, Mosey Bradley. He's a rapper in Sydney, Australia. So
Mosey Bradley. Okay, look for Derek Friesen, trumpet player. He's freezing.
How freezing is he? What do you mean by freezing?
Man,
he just makes people ice.
He's below zero, man. He's cold.
Cold-hearted.
No, at the trumpet, bro. At the trumpet. Oh,
I don't know, man. You just say he freezes people. Maybe he just
because his name's Derek Friesen, bro. It goes with his last name. He's freezing.
Alright, sorry.
But California. Back to California. I was in California 2 months ago on a Bay Area tour, and we hit 7 different venues out there. The weather is unbelievable. It's gorgeous. Like, I didn't want to come home, and we're in the works of booking another tour. I'll be going back over there from September 25th through October 9th, and I think it's gonna be a lot more cooler than I expect, because when I went up there this time, it was like beautiful during the day. Yeah. And at night,
cold.
It was cold, and I wasn't prepared for it at all. You know, the most I brought was maybe like a couple of flannels, and that got me through the night. I mean, it's not like unbearably cold, but it gets pretty cool at night. But in the morning, during the day, jeez, man, it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. Then the foliage, the variety of foliage out there, the plants, the trees, you walk around. I just wanted to wake up every day. I was like, man, I'm gonna go for a walk, roll a joint, just walk around. Like every house had different.
Because it's legal in California,
right? It's legal. You're not considered a menace to society because you smoke some grass. Anyway, that's another conversation. But, you know, no, literally every house, man, just different flowers, different plants. They had gardens in their yards, different trees. You turn around, you see an orange tree, fucking purple tree over here, and it's just like, where is this all coming from, you know? But it was beautiful. I soaked it in every day that I was there, and I can't wait to go back. But I think that if, you know, I were to get a house in the States, California, man. I know it's expensive out there, but it's just, yeah, it's beautiful, bro. It's fucking gorgeous.
So, California and all is lovely. But what do you feel about here at home? You're from the neighborhood.
Yeah.
What do you think is some of the issues or improvements that you think could go on here in the neighborhood?
Oh, well,
On the record.
Okay, hold on. Because now we're kind of talking about the same thing, but now we're talking about something different.
Yeah, just on the other side of the spectrum of the conversation, going from where you would like to live, but now going into what you think
Where you live now.
What improvements can happen here? To,
so, but the reason why where I like to live has nothing to do with improve. Like,
no,
you know what I mean? It just has to do with quality of life, and I think for me, weather is a huge factor to the quality of life. You know what I mean? But if here down home, improvements down home. So I still live off of Marbach, where I'm originally from.
Marbach and what?
And 410,
nice,
like right down the street from the high school we went to, which was John Jay.
Yeah.
And so improvement. Do you mean like community?
Or issues that you see going on that you think are something that's been going on for a long time that could be changed?
Oh, okay, cool. I see where we're going with this. Well, to touch up on what Trevor said in transportation. So what I would like to see here in San Antonio,
public transit, more
unevolved public transit,
like tram, trains, and all that.
Well, like, like to catch a bus, right? Mm-hmm. They run probably like every 30 minutes.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. And if you miss it, then you're shit out of luck for 30 minutes. You know what I mean? In other cities that are more developed and people using those things, and it's not like we don't have a lot of people. We have a shitload of people here. Yeah. I just think people don't use them because it's not developed. We don't have a train system. Our bus, again, going back to the buses, they run. The
bus routes are too long.
They're too long and they're too far apart. If they ran consistently more often, like every 5 minutes, boom, boom, boom.
Do you know what happened? Like I think it was like a week or two ago. My girlfriend was telling me about how she missed her bus. So my girlfriend works downtown, but she lives off of 410 and like I-10 area. So it takes her about probably like an hour and a half just to get downtown to go to work. But when she was leaving, apparently like there's just a stupid amount of construction that they're building a new thing in this area where you're supposed to wait for the bus. No one knew that. You just had a crowd of people that lost, or that may have missed their bus, or did actually indeed miss their bus because they didn't know where it was at. So then they have to call the other person. It was another 15-minute walk down the street just to get to that same bus that was already right there. And it's just a crowd of people that were super pissed about what's going on. They had no idea what was going on, and was it even necessary? We don't know. I don't know. But point is, I think transportation in general, downtown parking, it probably what pisses me off the absolute most, being someone who drives.
That's another, yeah.
Have you've seen those rectangle car parking lots like up where you put your car in there, you get a ticket and it pulls your car up into the thing. And have you ever seen Carvana? We recently just purchased a car from Carvana. Awesome. So just like that, essentially, but more of like a 2-car slot that goes upwards, and it changes out the cars.
Like $50 or what?
I don't know. I just saw that was a new idea to go up instead of spacing out your parking lots and things like that. You go upwards, so then you have more of those that are essentially car lots that are accessible on a quick means, rather than I have to go park here. There's no parking. Go to the 5th floor. There's no parking up here. God damn it.
Parking.
You know what I mean?
Parking sucks downtown. I think that is the main reason why I try to stay away from downtown.
Same here.
That doesn't really work because I play downtown a lot. Yeah. So on the other side, for musicians, I think that and I know that there's like a committee for musicians, or a society that fights for musicians' rights in San Antonio and in other areas. And I think they just passed something where for like $30 a year, I don't know, don't quote me on this, but something, you pay money or whatever and you get this pass, and it allows you to use loading docks in different areas and shit, and you won't get hassled with.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. There's a permit out there. Yeah. Something about vending along the sidewalks or something like that. Is that what you're talking about?
No, this one's for musicians specifically.
Well, vending or displaying music or something, or like
well,
you're
not to busk, like not to perform on the side. This is just like, okay, like I play on the Riverwalk, right? Where in the hell am I gonna park to unload all of my shit and take it downstairs to the Riverwalk where I'm gonna play?
Yeah, you know, you have to unload at the bridge, essentially.
At the bridge, exactly, wherever there's a bridge at. You know what I mean? Or a way in. And you can get hassled by the cops sometimes, you know, like, oh, and you explain to them what you're doing or why you're there, and then they understand, and you know, it's really not a fight anymore. Well, yeah, hopefully. You know, so like from a musician's perspective, parking and unloading, it just, for the city, it just stinks. And I think also to it, as a musician playing downtown, promoting shows downtown, it's a bitch, because if you
it's a bitch.
Right, thank you. Like if I'm doing a show downtown, right, depending on where it's at, I'm probably gonna have very, very limited parking wherever that venue or that spot is at, if you have parking at all.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So then to try and promote that, to get people to come down there, hey, come on downtown, this and this, but there's nowhere to park, then it's like, you know, it's like a needle in a haystack to try to find parking, like just randomly, you know, where you don't have to pay an arm and a leg, where you don't have to pay $15 to $20 just to park.
See, I'm such a cheap ass that whenever I go to events downtown,
you Uber it.
No, I don't. No, I'm cheaper than that. I park a mile away from the essential downtown district,
and then just walk.
Yeah, and just walk.
Yeah, you could do that too.
So I used to work for some valet companies, and you can park for free in specific valet areas. Well, I have like a few shirts, and I haven't done it in a while, but I did it for, it wasn't ACL. I think it was South by Southwest. It was a while back, but I ended up putting my Laz t-shirt in like the window, and they're like, okay, cool, because it was like $50 parking. That was just like a little shitty parking for like the South by Southwest events. You know how they just skyrocket. Yeah, it was like $50 for the day. And I told them, hey, you know, I'm a valet, 'cause it's the same company. Oh, who's your general manager? And I'll say like Jose Barbosa. And then he'll be like, oh, okay. And he's like, yeah, okay, cool. Even though I didn't work for the company for like 6 months to like a year at that point, they don't check. They're just like, oh, okay, cool, Laz t-shirt. Because typically, even downtown now, if you worked for Century or Laz or any of these other companies, you just leave your t-shirt up in the front, and they see that right there. I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna fuck with them, because more than likely they're working somewhere, and they can park in their own parking lots and stuff like that. So I recommend doing that if you ever get your hands on a t-shirt. You got any more Laz
t-shirts?
I do. I actually have a couple of Laz t-shirts and a couple hats.
You know, there's one garage downtown. It's off of Houston and College.
Don't. So many people are gonna park there, man. Nah.
We got 1 million viewers in tonight, ladies and gentlemen, listening to the
San Antonio,
Primal Texan podcast here. Welcome. But anyway, they're not too bad. They only charge $10, and you can stay the night there.
Really?
Yeah. So like, I use that one, but it's, you know, it's just like,
still, it's $10.
Yeah. It's out of my tips, man.
You get to the point where you're like, walking's free. I'll just walk a little further.
That's out of the question for me, because I got to
you got your own equipment. Yeah, I understand that.
Saxophone, speakers, cords, you know, stands, whatever else that I'm using. But so those are some improvements that could be made here. It's not causing me to want to leave. I love San Antonio. Specifically in Texas, I think that San Antonio has more of a pull on me than any other city, and not just because I'm from here, but well, maybe that has a big part to do with it, just because of, you know,
it's home, man. It's home.
You're accustomed to these things, right? But okay, man, I swear to God, bro, like, we have Tex-Mex in Texas, right?
Yeah,
which is different from your authentic Mexican food from Mexico and different parts of Mexico, right? But it's not like it doesn't have any Mexican influence in it, because this used to all be Mexico, and you got nothing, bunch of Mexicans here. We're all influenced by it, right? So we came, we did our own thing, boom, you know, it mixed in. You got this Tex-Mex shit, you know, even made by Mexicans, not white people or anything like that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We have Tex-Mex in Houston. We have Tex-Mex in Austin. We have Tex-Mex in Dallas. We have Tex-Mex in El Paso and in West Texas. Other places in the United States will try to have Tex-Mex food. Okay,
but it's bad,
and it's all just not, bro. San Antonio has its own thing, man. It's like, no, like you have to say San Antonio Tex-Mex. You can't just say Tex-Mex. You gotta be
it's
like
a Taco Bell in Mexico.
Like, it's, man, I'm telling you, bro. San Antonio, the food, the culture here, the colors, the art here. Yeah, I've always been an advocate for the art. I'm an artist. I'm an artist at heart, and I started painting when I was 4 years old.
I will say though, I think in the music and in the film industry within San Antonio,
that too.
Well, it's great, it's amazing, but how it's represented as far as on a political spectrum and its opportunities that it gets compared to other cities sucks. And I think it's ridiculous the amount of disrespect inherently by lacking that much respect towards San Antonio. Like, I'll go to Minus the Bear is just kicked off their tour, and they're never ever going to play again. They're done, and I'll see that they're never going to go to San Antonio.
Why?
Any bands? No, just in general, they don't book San Antonio.
Right.
Now, I will say Minus the Bear is pretty known to book in Helotes. There's a specific bar that they typically actually book whenever they come in here.
The floors.
But but like in general, you never see any like not top tier, but like, you know, like in the middle with those big bands that you want to see come to San Antonio. They don't come. They never go. And then San Antonio in general, when it comes to music and in their symphony, they're actually the worst paid symphony in the entire U.S. and the worst in fucking Texas. I think in Austin, the medium salary is like $50,000 a year, and the medium salary here is $26,000 a year.
I know some musicians in the symphony.
For like San Antonio Symphony.
Didn't they?
There was a big issue with that going on, but essentially what they're doing is, I think from what I get is that the San Antonio Symphony isn't being paid anymore. Exactly.
So it's all volunteer.
What I think is going on is that it's essentially volunteer, because the people that control the actual budget and who's getting paid are essentially just like pushing back the dates when they have to meet and actually figure out what's going on. Because I know that they had a meeting and they didn't have anything ready. They're like, oh, we'll just do another time. But then that week, it was supposed to be the new fiscal year where it ended up cutting off. They never decided on it. As far as I don't think they ended up deciding on it. I know that the remainders of their shows that they were doing were all going to be doing it for free. And I think there was only a couple more shows left.
I'm not too sure if it was San Antonio Symphony, but was it them that just fired the director and hired a new one?
I don't know,
because I thought I read something about maybe it was a different city, but yeah, I thought it sounded like a restructuring phase for the symphony here.
But this brings up another topic. Let's talk about, why do you think bands don't book here in San Antonio?
Because there's no point in going further than Austin.
Why? Because
Austin is such a hop skip away that anyone, if you're going to play in Austin, if you're a big budget band, you know, like Minus the Bear or Mute Math. Actually, no, I think it's Mute Math that was here. Yeah.
So, but because they're so close in mile radius, they figure, oh, all the people from San Antonio,
they're gonna go up.
Migrate.
I would totally go up. Maybe it's only like an hour and a half.
I've done it a couple times.
Exactly, but also San Antonio isn't seen as this Austin kind of like music scene.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's getting bigger. I think probably in the next 10 years, Austin's going to get over congested. It already is. It's going to push down south to San Antonio, and that's where San Antonio will start to revamp itself. Now, it's doing very well now.
I think we're in those stages right now.
Yeah. I think we're in probably like the halfway lower zone. But I think within the next 5 years, we'll be in the halfway upper zone of being a bigger, you know, music scene, being a bigger staple on the actual Texas or even the U.S. on where you want to go. Because I think in 5 to 10 years, no one's going to go to Austin again. I mean, granted, yeah, Austin's always going to be pretty great, but it as much bullshit that it's always going to have, and it's going to be escalating to even more bullshit when it comes to parking, population, prices, food. Food's great, but I'm not going up there for some food on a Saturday afternoon.
San Antonio might essentially just develop their own music festivals, because
and that's what they're trying to do, which is what they did with the Maroon 5 concert. I don't remember
What was like Botanica Fest?
What was it for?
It was for the NCAA.
It was for the tournament. NCAA,
yeah. Sweet 16, one of the games or something.
And it was 50,000 people.
But wasn't was it Botanica Fest?
It's Botanica.
Mm-hmm. It was at Fiesta Texas, like the whole park, right? Mm-hmm. They did that, and then what's the other one?
There's
Scoremore does it.
There's a sort of like a South by Southwest kind of thing.
What's it called though?
That we do here. I don't know. But I know that there's
Scoremore. I know Scoremore puts it together. It's called Malaluna Fest.
Mm-hmm.
That's
or Float Fest.
That's not San Antonio.
Is it?
Though.
Is that that's a little bit to the side, right? That's New Braunfels.
Yeah, it's New Braunfels.
I think the one you were referring to about sort of South by Southwest is the Malaluna.
Okay.
Because that one has more every act on there is hip hop, rap, or some type of commercial branch off of that form. But I know the Botanica Fest was a little bit more spread out, but again, still, like, San Antonio has this real thing for, like, I don't know, it's kind of like alternative rock punk kind of
River City Rock Fest.
Tejano.
Never care for that.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, any Tejano's gonna go anywhere in the state of Texas, all the way West Coast. Tejano has a huge market. There's a lot of success with Tejano musicians that make good money playing that.
But also, I think that our festivals here, not that it's being detrimental to artists coming down, but it technically gives big artists the opportunity or the actual wanting to come down, because it's something bigger than just them gonna go down there. Granted, their shows are gonna be great. Whoever's that big band, it's gonna be great. But I think there's no reason to go past Austin unless you can go into a festival where it's just a stupid amount of people and it's a stupid amount of hype, and you're getting paid good money because those ticket prices may even be higher, especially if you're one of the headlining acts. You're going to take a good portion of that cut. Well, they don't really take cuts. They just get payouts. Hey, we're going to guarantee you $30,000 for the weekend, whatever, and then they make however much. But not that I think it's detrimental, but I think that's kind of like the first step into San Antonio also becoming a bigger place, because the artists don't have to just book their one show with maybe they might have an opener. Typically you do, but in general, it's just them. Why go past Austin? There's really no point to it. Unless you're going to, obviously, unless you're going to go like Deep Valley, then yeah, you probably might want to stop at San Antonio first. But I don't know any artists that are going to go into the Valley.
The main problem, I think, is just because Austin has that pull, that their attitude, and also having 6th Street and all the diversity that 6th Street, East 6th Street, West 6th Street brings to Austin. Like, that just brings so much diversity and culture. It's just very luring for these big bands to go there, because you got the university there, and so you already have a student population already there to buy the tickets. And
that student population is essentially downtown, rather than UTSA, which is in the north side.
Yeah, but there's a UTSA downtown campus too, and then you have. I mean, you still have Incarnate Word, it's not. You have Trinity. You have a lot of schools though.
You do.
So what I'm trying to say is, like, even if I think even when.
But they're slightly disconnected though, because you can argue that UTS or UT Austin is literally just downtown,
right there,
period. Yeah. But then when you talk about Trinity and
Incarnate Word,
they're kind of still a hop, skip, and away.
SAC is down there.
SAC is probably the greatest version of that, where you can walk
right there.
Exactly, that's probably the best version of having a college downtown.
Yeah,
which is what I loved about SAC. I mean, I was downtown and I would walk off campus anytime and just go down to the Mexican restaurant, go to a Subway, went to Hog Wild Records, go to Alta Vista Skate Shop. That was a little bit of a walk, but you know.
Yeah, no.
But UTSA could do a lot of work too. I mean, they're right there off of 35. They're just on the other side. It's just UTSA does.
They have that food truck park right there.
Yeah, but UTSA doesn't really do any events at that campus because it's really small. But they can divert it to the parking lot or something that's right underneath the highway.
I don't mean to call out UTSA on this. I really don't mean to. But from what I was explained to, UTSA essentially didn't, because I go to A&M San Antonio.
Yeah.
And essentially A&M San Antonio wasn't originally. So, okay, they're put up for debate, and the schools can vote. As long as they're not a Texas funded school, they can vote on whether or not they think that A&M should be getting into San Antonio. UTSA said no, because he didn't think that Southside area essentially should be given a 4-year college, an actual college. It's next door to Palo Alto. And so they didn't want to give that area of town the opportunity to actually have a 4-year genuine college.
Wow.
Yeah. And so once the mayor at that time, which is about 10-15 years ago, I think, he obviously voted for it, but then St. Mary's and Incarnate Word voted for A&M to jump in, and then a Las Vegas company that dealt, I think, in casino stuff, were trying to get something passed through, but ended up just giving A&M the land for free. And so that's why they're over there, is because that land was given to them for free to actually start that college going. Oh, yeah. And that's how I got into it, is because UTSA said what they said, and then the other schools jumped in because they didn't really like what they said, essentially. But I get it, the A&M, UT rivalry.
I don't care about the rivalry.
Oh no, I know that you don't, but I'm sure that I like to throw a little bit of a grain of salt in there, if you will, about whether or not that is a racist comment or a loaded comment. But I like to maybe think that it's just a rivalry comment, that just to not have San Antonio in here. Because, I mean, if you think about it, it's not really, to have A&M in here, because it's not really too many other places you can go and it not be a Hispanic area that's not already in UTSA or any of the other colleges.
Or you can say it's a business strategy that UTSA was planning, because they get students from Palo Alto, and if Texas A&M has a campus basically on the other side of the highway, well, that's going to divert students.
They didn't have that location until after it was voted into.
Yeah. So
they didn't have that space yet. They were still building up money to actually buy space.
Okay.
But then the Las Vegas company ended up just giving it to them after everything was already said and done.
Okay.
So I wouldn't rule that into as a decision, but I get what
either way, whether it was going to be built on the east side, south side, it's still a rival public university to rival UTSA.
And now they are the cheapest.
Yes.
Four-year college, where UTSA used to be that. And now UTSA is trying to start to rival up to UT with their football and with their whatnots and shit. Did you know, and I think we might have talked about it last time, that I think for per year to park in the parking garage at
it's
UTSA,
expensive.
it's like $800 just for the year.
No, the parking garage?
Yeah.
Even
Jesus
just
Christ.
Parking, getting a commuter parking pass.
I was so happy
when I was going there
to find out that San Antonio College doesn't have parking permits, and then Northwest Vista did away with their parking permits.
Yeah, it's just open
so
parking.
It's all free now. Yeah.
Wait, when did they have paid parking?
A while back. I mean, I went into college 2013. So in that area of time,
I went to Northwest Vista back in 2009 for a semester, and I just parked there.
I've never bought a parking pass. I've always just paid the fine at the end of the semester.
No, what was bullshit? One time, they threatened not to give me my degree because my brother had some outstanding tickets with UTSA.
Yeah.
And they were like, "You got to pay these fines." I'm like, "That's not my fine. That's my brother's fine."
That don't matter. They're gonna try to get that money from you somehow.
Well, they did. They got the money.
They got that money.
I want that piece of paper. I spent too many years in school for that piece of paper, just to say I can work through a shit ton of bullshit work.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's my opinion of college. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. Oh man, Anthony, how's the barbecue going?
Someone's here.
Don't worry.
They heard the word barbecue. It's going, man. So I gig a lot, like throughout the week pretty much takes up the majority of my time. And then with I also do private lessons. So I used to do the cooks every Sunday.
Yeah.
And then it went from every Sunday to every other Sunday. And from every other Sunday to now just being the event. Because I'm focusing all my energy on the Blues Pit hang, with putting together the concert on the music side, organizing the musicians and all that, and then just making sure that I can execute the catering for the event at the same time. So since the process of cooking this type of barbecue takes about a good 2 days to do, I only do it one time, and so it's like I'm trying to make it so
smart,
good.
though.
I'm trying to make it so good. I mean, my goal is to try and make it legendary. That's what I want. It's not there yet, but that's my goal. That's what I go into it for.
This is your version of a new First Friday.
Like,
essentially, like something that we can look forward to at the end of the month.
At the end of the month,
or just have
a Sunday,
badass Sunday,
and just
Sounds
get
good.
some extraordinary barbecue with just that old, just down home quintessential jazz blues jam. You know, with some crazy musicians, and you know, you get the feeling of being at home because it's not in a fancy place. You know, and it's just home, you know what I mean, and everybody's going ham, just going off, like, you know what I mean. And then it's family friendly, all ages are welcome. You got, you know, you're drinking booze or whatever, you're kicking back with your homies, you're listening to good music if that's what you want. And that's what the event is for. It's for people that specifically like jazz, blues, jazz fusion, funk, anything under that umbrella, Afro fusion, all that, anything under that umbrella of jazz. If you're into that, and
if you're
barbecue,
into 4/4, get the fuck out.
No, we played a lot of 4/4. 4/4 is great. No, but so, and then other than that, I do maybe about a few catering gigs other than my event throughout the month as well. So someone will hit me up, and you know, as long as it's over like $150 for it's
it has to be worth it to you,
for me, especially because I have to fuel you know, the pit for 24 hours. So the wood, the expense, just doing it that way, it costs so much more because of the wood, and because the wood is the fuel, and I'm burning it down in the coals, and I'm maintaining a temperature for 24 hours on a pit with that, you know. So I'm burning a lot of that fuel, and wood is expensive. But so anyway, I do catering gigs there throughout the side, and I, you know, along with them at the same time while I'm gigging, you know. But really, I just focus that one time. So it's like, if you want it, if you really want it, you know, come out and get it. It's like the only time that you can get it.
How fast does the barbecue usually sell out at the event?
Within the first 2.5 hours.
Ooh, get there early.
I don't make a super, you know, it's not like a huge amount, you know, or, you know, an everlasting amount of barbecue, you know. It's a small production, you know, but it's there till it runs out. And I'm hoping that by the end of this year, I can get my my food truck. And then that'll be the next stage. But I'm still keeping it exclusive to my event, with the Blues Pit hang. And yeah, we're just gonna keep trying to make that bigger and bigger. You know, go from this essentially a small event at a dive bar, you know, a pool hall, just kicking back, to growing it into a festival. You know, so at least awesome. That's my goal. So
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never understood why we just have a First Friday. Why we don't have festivals throughout the week. Even
honestly, I damn the actual day that First Friday started, because then there was Second Fridays and Second Saturdays and First Saturdays. And I'm just like,
when I had
it oversaturated that shit so hard.
So I know you know this. Trevor probably doesn't know this, but a few years ago,
drop some knowledge.
Like 6 years ago, I had my second establishment, which was called the Blacknote Galleria, and it was this art gallery. It was really like a creative center for videographers, photographers, artists of all mediums, acrylic, oil, It was really known for it being a graffiti gallery. We had walls and huge people would be painting on the walls in the back, and we had a graffiti portion. We had a it was awesome. DJ battles, breakdancing, hip hop battles galore. It was like this underground hip hop oasis there, and we had some beautiful nights. But anyway, we had fucking shit. We had second Saturday, second Friday, third Sunday, all of them, you know. Yeah. And also too, I also do a second Sunday jazz brunch here at a place called Jamaica Cuisine off of Austin Highway. And they have some bomb Jamaican food there, and I do that just every second Sunday of the month with my jazz trio or quartet. Just depends on how I feel, but it's always a good time. On Jamaica Cuisine. Just giving them a little plug right now.
What do you recommend getting there from Jamaica?
Oh man, the jerk chicken is amazing. Their rice and peas are pretty good. I mean, that's what you get on the plate. It's like jerk chicken, rice and peas, and then you get some plantains. And then they have this cabbage. Oh man, I could just eat the cabbage by itself, like what they season it in. It's really good, steamed cabbage. But you know, we don't have too many Jamaican spots around. I hear there's a new one off of I think it's General McMullen. I'm not too sure. My brother told me about it. It was called the Jerk Shack.
You know, I think I drove by that about 2 weeks ago. I wasn't too sure what it was. It was on the news, and man, he says that shit's legit. Yeah? Yeah, I've been wanting to try it. Dude, there's this Brazilian truck that just I mean, they've been open for a while, but I just recently tried them. They're amazing. Like if y'all ever go to a Brazilian steakhouse, y'all go in there, and it's the only place you can find the meat that tender, that juicy, and then the food truck, like basically a fraction of the price, and the steak is just as good, just as tender, and just as juicy. I'm like, this came out of a food truck. What the fuck?
The only steak I've ever liked.
Yeah, I know.
Just because it comes out of a food truck doesn't.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's amazing how just the littlest equipment
don't be dogging the food truck, doc.
No, I'm not dogging them. I'm giving them praise. I'm raising them up.
Yeah, I feel you.
I'm raising them up to that 5-star restaurant level.
Man,
I'm raising them, not trying to down them.
So you're saying Ruth Chris level?
Better.
Yeah?
Better.
Because I don't like steaks. I don't like steaks. But I had a Ruth Chris steak. And that's my favorite steak I've ever had.
Ruth what?
Ruth Chris.
It's a fancy restaurant.
It's a fancy.
It's at the Rim.
Yeah. Well,
it's at that.
I ate the one downtown at the Grand Hyatt.
You know what? Okay. I have to say this. I really do. But just because it's a restaurant, period, or especially a restaurant like at the Rim or some of these like places where you think it's like, oh, it's upscale or it's got to be good because it's in this richer area, town, or more developed, brand new, whatever.
Doesn't mean it's true.
Man, I've just been let down a lot, man. Mm-hmm. Like I've been let down where it was just like I have really, really high expectations, and I'm a foodie. I like food. I think a lot of us do.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean. And we're always looking for that next appetizing just thing that we could talk about because it adds on to the whole experience of you dining in with whoever.
You and I should
with.
Start like a fooding vlog.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it.
A food art vlog.
So like, you know, I get let down. I go in there, and then I'm spending a lot of money. Mm-hmm. Right? You're putting it down, and then you're just like, you could just tell that the food was made without love, you know, and it sometimes to the point where you're just like, man, what the I can do this. I could do this. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And a better job at cooking this and preparing it and making it for myself at home. And I just think that's a huge letdown. I think that has to do with restaurants being more commercialized and like franchised, and it's taking
profitability every year. Gotta be better than the last year. I made 10,000 last year. I gotta make 20 this year.
It's taking away from the art of the chef, man. Mm-hmm. You know, because I'm a chef. I love the art, the culinary arts. Anyway, it's a whole universe, right?
Yeah.
But you don't. That's the other reason why I don't like with my food truck and with the barbecue, bro. The process, everything is made from scratch. This is a recipe that I've been cultivating for the past 6-7 years. Okay, everything is made from scratch. All the sauces, all the marinades, the rubs, all of it.
Delicious.
Okay, so, and then the way that I cook it, that process, it takes a long time. I can't do it every day. I don't want to do it every day because it'll lead me to make shortcuts, sacrifices that'll affect the quality of the overall cook on what I'm trying to go for. When I go in, it's like just Boxing Day, right? Like ready every time, just trying to outdo yourself the last time, and to provide somebody with that barbecue experience, that exceptional barbecue experience. Because if you've ever had one in Texas, it becomes addicting. You know what I mean? To drive out miles and miles out into the country to find that one smokehouse that's been smoking meats for 24 hours. You know, this meat, you know, it's a labor of love. You go and you get this platter, and adds on to the experience, you know. And well, because of the work, like, it's just, man, any man will get tired. Any man will get tired of doing it every day, in and out, and to just do it for profit and to try to make more and more money. Man. It destroys your passion, destroys your fire. So I think, you know, with the restaurant industry being the way that it is, I think it's taken away a lot from the actual, again, the art of the chef, man. People really, and now that's why you see all these food trucks coming out, dude, because there are people out there that are cooking with love, that actually like to cook. You know what I'm saying? And that's why they're coming out booming, because they're able to do, and you don't have to worry about the overhead. You don't have to worry about all these other things all these other pressures and stress, stresses that come with owning a brick and mortar. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I just went on a tangent. Sorry, guys.
That's good. Not really. You didn't go on a tangent. I took us there. No, that's one of the amazing facts. That's why I was looking into buying a truck just for a coffee business that I was dreaming of.
Ooh.
But that's not a passion of mine. It was just a phase, and I was just like, you know, maybe I don't want to do this coffee shop.
Yeah, well, you never know. There's still a lot of time left.
Oh yeah, still plenty of time. It's just right now, it's not I don't have the time for it.
No, yeah.
Essentially,
starting anything, just like, as you know, with this podcast.
Oh yeah.
You know, trying to push it, trying to build the brand, keep it going, being consistent. You know, it takes a long time.
Oh yeah, it takes a long time, and then the more consistent I am, the longer I keep pushing.
You have to be good at it too.
Yeah.
You falling asleep there?
That's
dude?
the scary part.
He's falling asleep because it's not good.
I know.
I didn't say that shit.
This is a man that worked for 36 hours finishing up a video project.
Got a good pay though. It was definitely worth it.
Y'all want to give any plugins? It's a good time in the podcast if y'all want.
Yeah. So if you are listening in, once again, the Blues Pit Sunday Hang is this Sunday, July 22nd at the American Legion, Post 399. We'll get started around 6:30. The food will be served, or it'll be available for pickup, purchase, whatever, until sell out. The music will start at 8. It's going to be a good time. We have a lot of musicians coming out. And again, it's a monthly, so just look that up, Blues Pit Sunday Hang. If you're on Facebook, it's on ATM Jazz. Anyway, thanks for having me again, Greg.
Thanks for coming
Trevor,
back on.
Good meeting you, bro.
Yeah.
Trevor, any plugins?
Should I?
Yeah, should.
I hate plugins.
Do it.
Well, hey, So Far Sound San Antonio, check it out. Songs from a Room. If you like secret shows, you like music in general, anywhere from rapping, acoustic artists. We had Hang Drums last time. It's a fucking blast. Come on down. If you need any type of video work, commercial, interviews, documentaries, anything like that, I got you as well. Just go to Blue Fox and our Instagram, Facebook, YouTube channel. Specifically with So Far, if you're a new watcher or listener, make sure you check out So Far Sounds on YouTube. There's anyone from Tyler, the Creator, to Ed Sheeran, to your local artists. They cater to all kinds of artists. You never know who's going to show up at your show. So make sure you check out that, and you'll get a good idea on what we're kind of all about. It's about respecting the music and making sure that we can give everyone an opportunity to really be heard and to really listen to good music.
Awesome.
Nice.
Thanks for joining in, people. Thanks again, Trevor, Anthony, for coming on to the podcast again. Bro. Tune into the podcast next week. Should have another podcast coming up. If not, don't forget, I have a bunch of other videos now going on, from ranges from got a comedian, artist, yoga instructor to these two guys. The audio in the earlier scenes aren't that good. Still working on it, but we'll get there. Again, thank you. Appreciate all the love that y'all give me. Thanks for the 1,000 views that y'all gave me on YouTube. Yeah, no, I never thought I'd get up that high.
It's a come up, man.
Oh yeah. Again, well, guys, take care. Be nice to one another out there. Have fun.
Definitely do that.
All right. Later.
Peace.
Bye.
Peace. Peace.
Peace, peace, peace.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, that is So Far Sound Songs from a Room.
There you go. You got it.
Woo, man. Your MC right there.